Good morning, everyone, because it's absolutely, definitely, 100% definitely the morning. It is the morning. Checking the time, and it's definitely the morning somewhere in the world. Welcome into twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Dad. I'm joined by the man that we call BB.
Good afternoon.
Alright.
Good afternoon. I'm just having a look at our manager here, and it says the bitrate is unstable. Is that what it looks like for you, or do I need to refresh the page just before, obviously, the stream ends up going down?
Ooh,
It's back to excellent.
It says the bitrate is unstable for me too. Let me refresh it as well, my page. It's I think... Oh no, it says it's excellent for me now. Yeah, don't know. There you go.
We're both having the same problem. This is great.
Let's go Twitch. It looks like it was just Twitch's back end. I wonder if it's because we had it open before the stream started and then it's just kind of like confused it. I don't know. But anyway, welcome in. How are you all doing? Welcome into twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. As we've just mentioned, my name is Graham Dad. This has been We Are Ice Cream Uploads in a true ice creamy fashion. This is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast. At least we do say so.
Even if we do say so ourselves.
You're goddamn right. I just want to point out a couple of things first before we even start in the introduction. Shout out to Tito who's rapping in the chat. He just said one time. Thinks he's like, Fuji's in there. 2 time. Let's go, Tito. Oh, exclamation mark time. Yeah. Welcome in, Tito. 1 time, 2 time, however many times. Do feel free to make yourselves comfortable because, as we mentioned, this is The Scoop. We're going to bring you the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories in the world of video games. We're going to give you our thoughts and impressions on those stories, but we want to hear your thoughts and impressions too. So if you are in the chat, we are live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, where we go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.-ish. I mean, there is a 10 in the time right now. It's 10... Past 3 in the afternoon. Let's go. We do go live on Twitch at 10 a.m.-ish. And like I said, we will give you our thoughts and impressions on the biggest stories. But we want to hear your thoughts and impressions and then your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. It's not just about the stream. The live stream is turned into a podcast, a video on YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. There is lots of places where over 165,000 people have watched and listened to this podcast on demand. So please do feel free to get involved on behalf of all of those beautiful people. Before we go any further, though, let me remind you that I think it's 2 weeks to the day. 2 weeks to the day, we will be giving away a copy of FIFA 23 to one person that is subbed to the channel. So if you sub any time between now and then, 3 p.m., well, about this time, minus 11 minutes. You've got 2 weeks, minus 11 minutes to sub to the channel, because at 3 p.m. on the Monday, we export the list of people that are subbed to the channel, and we will give one person a prize just for supporting us. It's just our way of saying thanks. Here's some support for supporting us. We like the sport. Did you get the sport? Sport. Nice, you get it. Nice. Also, speaking of giveaways, exclamation mark giveaway, we have a giveaway ongoing right now where you can bag yourself one of these headsets thanks to our partner, Astro Gaming. They have provided us with an Astro A40 headset for one of you beautiful people to win. And... also, shout out to Activision/Call of Duty that gave us a copy of Modern Warfare 2 for us to give away on Saturday evening, which we did. We did. We gave a copy away to Mecha Robots, who is an absolute baller, by the way, because Mecha Robots understands the mission. Mecha Robots has been following the channel for a long time, but very rarely drops in, or at least very rarely speaks. Mecha Robots got involved in the Insurgent Sandstorm stream and won a code, and then disappeared off into the sunset. Mecha Robots comes back into the Modern Warfare stream, wins a code, and probably disappears off into the sunset, unless Mecha Robots is watching this hate. Although I do want to shout out that Beans is in the chat as well, and he's saying it now. Congrats, Beans, beat you all to the punch. Beans was getting some hate the other day, because Beans went through... If you don't know who Beans TV is, educate yourself now. He went through a period of winning 3 giveaways within quick succession. It wasn't back to back. 2 of them were back to back though. We gave something away during the subathon stream. So he won himself an ICU jersey, an ICU subathon tee, and was there something else? I can't quite remember. Anyway, he won some stuff, and then we had another giveaway, and he won that too. Yay! So he gave that up and let someone else win that, which went to Ads Plays. And then we went to the meetup after the subathon. We gave an A40 headset away, which we didn't tell anyone about. We just gave everyone numbered name tags because we didn't want to say, if you come along, you'll get a headset. because we didn't want the incentive to be for people to come along to get free stuff. We wanted to reward people for just being there. And Beans won that as well because, absolute baller. So everyone was like full on daggers for Beans on Saturday's stream thinking he was going to win the giveaway. So, yeah, he didn't.
This is bullshit. Rigged.
Yeah, I was waiting for that to come up into the chat. Exclamation mark, rigged.
Beans says, and I was 3.5 hours late. He was. Everyone was like, did you shake the pot properly? Was he the last name in there? It's like, yeah, we did. Just is what it is. Like Kane says, if you look sin. So who won? It was Mecha Robots that won a copy. That said, I think we have another copy to give away. Because, as I was talking about this on Friday, I was given a code. On Saturday, should I say. I was given a code and Bibby was given a code. We were also told that we could request an extra code each. So I played along. I gave... one code away on Saturday. I imagine with that, we need to confirm it that we can ask for a second code as well. So we will confirm it. But yeah.
It's funny you should say that because I actually haven't been given. I'll have to request it from him. But yeah, I didn't know whether or not there was like, because everyone can get a code, but I thought they meant me and you can get a code, obviously, to be able to play the campaign, but then we'll have one to give away between us because obviously we are Ice Cream Uploads. I didn't know if they would give us an extra one.
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm saying I'm hoping because just quoting the messaging, it's one for you and one to give away. Is what the message said. So okay, well, I've had one for me to give away. Bibby's had one for him, but no giveaway. So just using the terminology. I know there was a limited number though, so they might have all gone. So we will check up on that. We will see if we can give a code away. If that's the case, we will have another copy of Modern Warfare 2 to give away. Nice. Also, I want to point out that the game is fucking incredible. And that is, there's no spawn. We weren't given codes to say nice things. There is no ad to this. For anyone that wonders, you put hashtag ad and stuff like that on your posts if you've got free stuff with the command that you have to say things positive. We don't have a hashtag ad because we aren't earning any money off this and we haven't been told to say specific things. They've given us the code on the belief that they think it's a good game. And by giving us the code, we will also think it's a good game, so they get good stuff by proxy. If we think it's shit, we can say it's shit. Anyway, anyone that watched my impressions on it on Saturday, it was fucking awesome. It was really good. I mean, if you played the Modern Warfare 1 and 2 campaigns back on the Xbox 360 PS3 generation, you will love this, because not only is it more of the same, but it looks incredible. It's a PS5 game. It looks that damn good. God damn.
It does.
Yeah. So at the moment, it's just a campaign. So if you're one of those people like me that goes, I want to play the campaign, but I don't want to lose time on the multiplayer. Well, this is fine because the campaign's in early access, so you can play it before the multiplayer even comes out. Yay! Let's go. Okay, let me jump back up through the chat. Phony Asteroid was in nice and early. I'll read. Good timing. Got in about 10 minutes ago. Nice. What you're off this week, right, Tito? Or is it just today? Because you mentioned that you were going to be playing some Modern Warfare-ish potentially today. Have you got it? Oh, you have got it. You got the Vault Edition. Have you played through it? What are your thoughts? Got a smoked salmon sub and a Costa Latte as we speak late lunch. Nice.
Fucking hell. Who did you vote for?
Yeah, good.
That's the most Corey sandwich I've ever heard in my life.
Smoked salmon sub, please, actually. All right, a bit of ham and cheese on some bread, mate. No butter, no. I went to make a brew and realised no milk. No.
That is devastating.
Absolute heartbreak. Because it's not even like you were 70% of your way there to putting it to your mouth, and it wasn't like, shit, I've not got it. You didn't realise first. That's bad enough, but realising like as you were on your way to make it, no. What time is it? It's 3:07 and 55 seconds ish. It is exactly, which is basically 10 a.m. Congrats, Beans. Beans in there before anyone else. Nice. You like to see it then. Noob, welcome in, hacks. Yeah, 2 during the 24-hour stream. Exactly. Giveaways, air quote. Beans is just a bomb winner. Facts. I thought the new Modern Warfare 2 was a remastered version of the original, but it's a totally new game. It is. Completely new game. So, like, it was called. So this is where we're almost into Xbox box of an Xbox Series box, Xbox scenario, because we had Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, then we got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Then a few years ago we just got Modern Warfare, which didn't have the name Call of Duty, even though it technically did. It was just called Modern Warfare. And this one is Modern Warfare 2. So that's where the subtle difference is. But the annoyance is because it's part of the Call of Duty series, a lot of things still call it Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which is same, but different, but still same, but very different. So, yeah, understandable why it's confusing. We'll be tucking into it shortly. Nice. It looks incredible. It does look incredible. It does. I have it. What, you've got Call of Duty, Ken? Oh, it's good. Photorealistic almost. Exactly. So if anyone's seen Transformers, there's a military general majory sort of dude. The actor who plays that is in Call of Duty. It's badass. It's like Bibby mentioned Kevin Spacey from a few years back. That looked good. This looks beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. The Amsterdam level looks great. Yep. We passed that one. Do you know what? There's some really, I won't say anything specific. There's some really cool nods back to missions from the old games, and we've only played like 2.5 hours of it. It's about 8 hours long.
How long is the campaign? Oh, is it?
I think so. Someone said that, but someone took it off the guess that Call of Duty campaigns are usually about 8 hours long. I don't know if it actually is 8 hours long. Just bread and butter in my house. There we go, noob. You love to see it, mate. Yeah, put some hairs on your chest, mate. Yeah. It's not just any smoked salmon. It's Marks and Spencer's lemon and pepper smoked salmon, Kappa.
It's 7.5 hours.
Oh, there you go. So we've only got 5 hours left. 2 streams. Easy dubs. Spacing it down so not going to shop to get some milk. Understandable. That's where you need some coffee, mate. I have some. I don't know if it's over there. It might be in the cupboard downstairs. Modern Warfare 2, not COD Modern Warfare 2. Yeah, exactly. It's COD Modern Warfare 2, but not COD Modern Warfare. What? More confusing than Microsoft console naming comment. Exactly. So you've got the Xbox box, and then you've got an Xbox, one Xbox. So you can have one Xbox box. Fuck knows. My kid has it game share. Nice. AC 130. Spoiler. I mean, like we were talking before, we don't know if it's an AC 130. None of that was specified. I mean, it was on the original, but anyway, it's good shit. It's good shit. Definitely get involved. I wasn't going to say that, Phony, so you literally have just kind of taken what I've avoided and said it in chat, which was a bit of a dick move. I was like, no spoilers. Not going to mention anything. Write something straight into the chat. Let's go! So yeah, if you want to play through it, do play through. We won't talk about it anymore, and we'll stop Phony from saying more stuff because ain't got time for that. Speaking of Phony, actually, I nearly did temporarily ban him for the chat on Saturday evening as well, because he was doing something that also really annoys me. He was doing that, this bit's really good. Oh, this bit's about to go crazy. I'm like, oh, great! Shut the fuck up and let me figure it out for myself. What? It's like, you want to watch this bit? Well, what do you think I'm doing? Fuck? So don't do that. Don't do that ever on anyone's Twitch channel ever. Not just ours. It's not good. Don't do it. It wasn't just you. No, but you started it, and then Lotus did it as well later on. So I was like, I've not told Phony off, so I can't tell Lotus off now. So I've just got to let it slide. So yeah, somebody had a real strop on Saturday night. Who was that? I had a strop on Saturday afternoon. And it wasn't even a strop, to be fair. We were setting the ground rules for how we should be playing as a team. So nice, yeah. And we even spoke about it afterwards, like adults. So it wasn't a strop. Oh, yeah.
Who was you playing with?
It was me, Phony, Beans, and Nicho. And Phony doesn't know how we play. Obviously, he's new into the team. So we had basically the gist of it was I was telling him when he was doing things wrong. And nobody likes to be told when they've done things wrong. So he was biting back, which was then making me bite, thinking, I'm just trying to give you information. And then after like 3 or 4 times, I was like, do you know what? I can't be arsed being bitten at when I'm trying to improve comms. So I just was like, fuck this shit. But then I was like, actually, do you know what? Fuck this shit. It's not helping anyone. So I went back in and told him again, and we were all right. So jobs are good. And yeah, just sorting out the team comms. But you know.
That's how adults solve their problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Without having a scrap in the car park.
You know, Gaga just needed to bring it back.
If there's a car park outside, it's scrapping, it's being thrown down, you're having a dance off.
Oh, we already spoke about it. Phony's much larger than me. He's like 6'3" or whatever. So basically, I would win the fight, is what we established quite easily. And then I would also die.
He's got the strength.
Yeah, well, that was it. I'd get the killer blow before he even got me, but then he'd fall on me and kill me anyway. So we'd both be lost. So that's what we came to. So nice. Was all forgotten, but thanks for bringing it up. I know it's Gagad. He's just trying to start a bit of drama. What game were you playing? Well, we played two. So on Saturday afternoon, we played PUBG like we usually do, chasing crates with mates, which is where me and Phony had our car park brawl. And then Saturday evening, we played Modern Warfare 2. So we finished off, went off for a few hours, did some shopping and family stuff, and then came back and played a couple and a half hours of Call of Duty, which was good. Yup, fight, I'm going to fall and squash him. Exactly, there you go. You're only a fake Yorkshireman. My money's on Phony. Yeah, I'm a Yank. I'm a Yorkshire Mank. That's what it is. I'm American. America. Fuck yeah. Speaking of fuck yeah, or more like fuck no, we'll jump into our first story of the day. I think I've done through all the rest of the other stuff. I've mentioned the loot drop. I've mentioned the giveaway. I've mentioned all of that stuff. So we'll jump into our first news story of the day. Like I said, fuck no. As a Red Dead Online Stadia player is set to lose $1 million in game due to a 30-day rule. Oh, let me just stop for a second there, because Bibby has absolutely clickbaited the fuck out of this like an absolute boss. If anyone did see our go live tweet, it says live now, red dot, because you know red dot, you can't be live without red dot in your tweet. It says obviously. Red Dead Online players set to lose $1 million? Question mark, exclamation mark.
Standard.
Nice. I mean, I'm disappointed at the fact that we both look pretty kind of happy-ish in the thumbnail. Where's the? We need like the hands on the feet, Kevin McAllister.
I've got certain pictures for certain scenarios. So like there was something that we covered a couple of days ago that we talked about leaks, and it was a picture of me and you in the studio, and I've got my hand on my head. I'm like, that was going in. So I've got pictures for different scenarios, Graham. Don't worry about it. I've got it all locked down.
Well, we do have plans, by the way, to go and have a photo day. Like when you get your pictures taken at school, we have plans for a photo day soon. The downside is I'm getting a bit of face fuzz, and I've got, if I take my hat off, you've probably seen it over the last few days, some big old Lego head hair going on because, you know, I'm a cheapskate. I'm going to Disneyland this weekend and getting my hair cut before I go, so I look nice in all my pictures. No point getting it cut a couple of weeks ago because I'll just have to get it cut again and all that stuff. So after that, we'll get some photo days. So then you might even see some of the YouTube-esque sort of like fireballs, explosions in the background, Bibby going, Bibby just looking, ha, 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 head back, laughing emoji, that sort of stuff. Let's go.
They both have to have trims or something, so both don't end up looking like Frank Sidebottom when we're going into the office.
We'll put it in the calendar. You know, get your hair cut Monday in the office. Tuesday, jobs are good. Let's
Absolutely. Coordinated haircuts.
Had to cause some dramas. You ignore my good afternoon. Did I? Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair played. Sorry, Gagad. I mean, I love you, mate. So sounds like one of our fights. Yeah, pretty much. So David is my brother, for those that don't know, and David is a lot bigger than me. So yeah, same. my family are all massive, apart from me. I'm the mouthy little runt shit. So there you go.
Scrappy do.
Yeah, exactly. Let me at him. So yeah, looking forward to booting up Modern Warfare 2 campaign in a bit. So are you? Is that you booting it up soon, or are you looking forward to booting it up in a bit? Are you leaving Timeless? What are you saying? Sit a bit, mate.
Commas count.
Yeah. No, enjoy. It's so good. It is really, really good. Genuinely. Shout out to Activision for the hookup. We appreciate that. Saved us 140 quid already. 210 quid already, because we got a code each, and then someone else in the chat. It could be 280 by the time we finish. So we'll see. Okay, jumping into the first story then. Mr. Bibb, have you played any Red Dead Redemption online?
I haven't, Graham. I've got no reason why I haven't. It's just, compared to Grand Theft Auto, it's a bit slow.
Yeah, same. That said, there are some people that have invested days of their lives into this, accruing millions of in-game currency just for it to be snatched away. This is the first article written by Josh Coulson at the game. It says, Red Dead Online Stadia player, my God, not Stadia player, nice, Stadia player set to lose $1 million in-game due to a 30-day rule. So despite Rockstar revealing players can transfer their accounts, the 30-day caveat is catching a lot of people out. This is actually... It's an unnecessary, weird decision. We'll go into it. So last month, Google announced it will be shutting down Stadia in January 2023. For most people, that probably means very little because there's only 6 people that play on Stadia. However, especially when Google has pledged to issue refunds to anyone who spent money on the platform. However, Red Dead Online players with thousands of hours invested into the game on Stadia got pretty worried. It's Colour TV revealed shortly after the shutdown news that they had invested almost 6,000 hours into Red Dead Online on Stadia. Imagine that. I wouldn't have even imagined that 6 people would have invested 1,000 hours, let alone one person investing 6. God damn. Anyway, begging Rockstar for a way to transfer their progress. Colour's requests were answered, and they shared a response from Rockstar confirming they can now transfer their Stadia progress. However, although Colour is getting their happy ending, nice, others with thousands of hours invested in the game are not. Other players have been reaching out to Colour since they shared Rockstar's reply. The Red Dead Online player revealed over the weekend that a fellow Stadia owner with 3,500 hours sunk into the game and more than $1 million in-game in the bank has been told that they will not be allowed to transfer their progress to a different platform. Why? You ask? Well, don't worry. We'll keep going. The problem is the 30-day caveat implemented by Rockstar. On the surface, it sounds like all players need to have done is played Red Dead Online on Stadia for the first time within 30 days of Google's announcement. This is not the case. You actually need to have played the game at some point within 30 days of that announcement, even if you'd played it before then, and, as is the case for quite a few people, ploughed thousands of hours into it. Colour has been contacted by several players with similar issues. However, since none of those hours were logged during the 30-day period prior to Google's announcement, they're not eligible for an account transfer. As it stands, the player above and many more will lose all their progress and need to start from scratch on a new platform from January 2023 when Stadia shuts down. I don't get it. It's just bizarre.
No. It's ridiculous.
Baby, you've played this game for 72 million hours. Nice. But we didn't tell you this. There was a 30-day period that has just ended that we never told you had started, and it's just finished, so you can't qualify. Whereas Graham, who's only played the game for 7 minutes by accident because he thought it was Grand Theft Auto, he gets his progress transferred over because he did that within the last 30 days and has never played it before. It's bizarre. If you are a devout, a staunch Red Dead Online player, you've streamed it for thousands of hours, you've built a community around it, and then Super People came out a month ago, and you thought, you know what? I'm going to play a little bit of Super People, and then we'll come back to Red Dead. That 30-day period that you've not played that game is the period that you were never told was the period that mattered. So all of that time and effort and money and content is gone because you just didn't make what? What are your thoughts, babe?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Do you know what it feels like? It feels like they wanted people to they wanted it within 30 days, so that it's like a not necessarily a logging campaign, but just something that they can just tack onto a number and say within the last 30 days we've had 10,000 people log in, whereas usually over 90 days they probably have about, I don't know, being generous, we'll say about 2,000 people have logged in over the last 30 days. This is ridiculous. Like, if you're gonna have some sort of T's and C's, they need to be vocalized. Even if it's just something on a website, on a forum post, on an official Discord. Like if someone's switched on enough that they are pouring thousands of hours in, chances are they're going to be grouping up with other people. They might be in a Discord, they could be on a forum somewhere, they might be in a WhatsApp group. I don't know. I mean, obviously when you go to do PUBG stuff, you use our Discord, use the ICU Discord, you put in there that you want people to play. When I do Pro Club stuff on Sundays, if I know that I'm going to be around at that specific time, I'll usually shout up the day before, night before, on Friday and say, look, we're playing on Xbox on Sunday, 10 a.m. start, reply to this. I'll click the emoji and then I know you're available. That's how most people communicate nowadays. So being a leading company, I mean, obviously it's being disbanded, with Stadia being disbanded. You'd think messaging like that to your player base who've helped support you over so long, you give them the heads up and they haven't. It's a failure on their side. It's a failure altogether. And I do feel sorry for these people who have backed the product and then been shat on from a great height. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I want to point out, high five to the other people in the community that share the same sense of humor as me. Tito says, doesn't seem like a good use of developers' time to devise a way of transferring 4 Stadia players' progress. And then that kind of seamlessly ties up with my Discussing Now title, Red Dead Online Stadia players exist. Sorry, okay, Stadia. It was easy. It was low blows. We were always going to take them. But this person has played 146 days and 17 hours worth of time. That's not. They've played on successive days. They have played full days.
Minutes. I'm going to compare this hours to minutes. How many? Days to minutes. Days to hours. Days to hours. Calculator. How many days? 147.
Yeah, 146.
140. Oh my fucking god! 3,504 minutes that they have played this game for.
3,000 minutes.
Yeah, hours.
I mean, I could have told you that's 3,521 hours. I've got it in front of me.
Oh right.
I thought you were giving me minutes, so I could say yeah.
No, I mean I can give you minutes. Are you ready for this? It's a hell of a number. 210,240 minutes. That is outrageous.
3,521 hours in total. 146 days, 17 hours in total. 1.0. Oh, okay. Is that a million? Oh, it's a million. Yeah, 1,960. Oh my god. Do you know? Have you? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Get out of jail free card there.
No, I didn't, because I'm going to come back to it. Have you ever seen that video of that guy who's reading numbers out and he's like 1 billion, 1,000 billion? It's like that's me just then. I was trying to, it's because there's no comma separators in these numbers here. 1096 and then there's the little one. So it's 1,096,798 and 20 cents in-game cash. But 1 billion, 1,000 billion, million. It's that one.
It reminds me of that video. Have you seen that video of the world's fastest reader? That is a disgrace. It's like one of my favourite videos. That he speaks at the book, goes.
Just imagine thinking great. Other people are stupid enough to believe that. Imagine being that stupid yourself that you think other people would be that stupid. Life must be amazing for that person.
It must be a comedian because no one in the right mind's going. Fastest reader. It's fucking great, that video. I love it.
Fun times. So yes, 146 days, 17 hours. This person has played. It is bullshit, though. It is bullshit because there's none of this. Like, if you look at their wording, thank you for replying to us. We investigated your account, but are unable to confirm that you played Red Dead Online on Stadia in the 30 days before the Stadia shutdown announcement on September the 29th, 2022. Because of this, we're unable to copy your online progress over, which is bullshit because the Stadia service is still up. The Red Dead service is still up. What it should be is... Okay, you've seen the notice now. You have until 30 days from the service ending. Or you could go right up to the end or whatever. Just log on now, log in, and we can tell you that, yeah, we'll take everything over. That's how everything ever works. You sign up to a website, and it'll be one of those, we've noticed that you haven't signed up to this website. One example for me was I applied for a job at the BBC about 20 years ago, something like that. And the BBC, I don't know, maybe it might even be a decade ago, emailed me going, your details are still on our system. We're going to get rid of them unless you would like to keep them. If you'd like us to keep your details on our system, log back in. They should tell you, just as you're about to lose your data, that, okay, you've got a warning period now. You've got 30 days to log in or your data's gone. Nice. Okay, great. Jobs are good enough. I'll log in and you can transfer my shit over because it's going to be an automated process anyway. There's only going to be 6 players or 4 players, as Tito said, that move over from Stadia to another platform. So it's not as if it's a massive data movement in that sort of sense. If you're at this point where you've got systems set up and you've got cut-off dates and you can check and you can tell people that they can't be moved over, why can't you just make it so that you can change a 0 to a 1 right now and move stuff over? It's so bad. I bet it's just someone's overlooked something. I bet it's not a case of, it's massively against the systems or whatever. Someone would have just gone, oh yeah, that'll do. And they've just gone with that. And I genuinely think it will be something that simple and monotonous that they've not even thought of it. So customer services have just gone, okay, well, this is the official wording. We'll just send that back. And no one has stopped to think, that is stupid as fuck. I mean, we could literally, rather than just getting people like The Scoop calling us stupid as fuck, why don't we just make it so it actually is good for the users and go, okay, by the way, if you want to move your stuff over, you've got a 30-day countdown starting from now, rather than going... Countdown starting now, but I'm not telling you. And then in 30 days' time going, countdown's over! And it's like, what fucking countdown? Oh, you've missed it. You can't move your data over now. I didn't even know that I was moving data anyway. What? So, yeah, how not to do PR. It's ridiculous. It is so bad. And it's not, this is not like an indie dev. This is Rockstar Games that have done this. Yeah. So they have enough resources to fix this now. Hopefully they do, because that business has enough resources to move stuff over. People should be able to go. For me, they should say one of two things. The first one is the preferred one. The second one, not. The first one should be, okay, log in and we'll make it so you can transfer your data over to any platform. Log in anytime now in the next 30 days. Job's good. Or the less preferred one would be, okay, contact us and we will move your details over as long as you've logged in the next 30 days. Because that way, a lot of people will be annoyed for nothing. A lot of people will be, I can't move my data over, but I was never going to play it anyway, and I probably wouldn't play it on another platform, and I didn't even realise I could move my data over, so I don't really care. But because now I know I can't do it, I'm proper angry. So a lot of people will be like that. But at least put it on them. If you want it, let us know. Do that as a minimum. For me, it should be a case of, okay, we fucked up. Anyone that logs in between now and the 24th of November, that's still 2 months before the game actually dies on Stadia. If you're logging in between this point, then you can move your stuff over to another platform. That's how it should work for me, not just Red Dead's developers, Rockstar going, oh, well, you didn't know about it, but it's tough. Okay, great.
It should be an in-game message or prompt or something, shouldn't it? Like on your dashboard or something. You play this, you have until this time. Like something easier or along them lines. I don't understand it. Is that person going to pick up this game again? Have you lost that person who logged in every single day? Obviously not within the last 30 days, because they might have gone on holiday for 2 weeks, and then, like you say, Super People might have come out. I know we're using Super People as the go-to for this. But like you say, it's just I'll never understand this. It's not consumer first, and that's always what these games should be, especially for live service.
I mean, even just the games that we've followed over the last few weeks, there's been a couple of weekends of Modern Warfare, plus Modern Warfare's in early access, and Battlefield is actually decent again. So just that FPS genre is enough to. I mean, these are cross-genre games. You might be a Minecraft player, but you won't be a reconnection successful. Refresh. Free. Oh no, that says Rui Fresh, but I'm not pressing the delete button, so fine. Rui Fresh. Hit the Rui Fresh button if you haven't already Rui Freshed. I couldn't be bothered reaching all the way over to the delete button to correct the word, so it's fine. We'll go with that one now. Yeah. It's a shit move. It's a shit move because these are hardcore, super invested people. Someone that's spent 146 hours and days and 17 hours of their life playing your video game just on Stadia. Chances are they might have played it on other platforms too, especially if they want to transfer that stuff to another platform. So shitting on these people, even if these people don't spend a lot on your game, if they're not your cash whales, the people that will buy your FIFA points or your V-Bucks or your whatever, even if this person isn't that person, someone that spends 146 days and 17 hours in your game is needed to support everyone else that is the cash whale. You can't play FIFA if there's not someone else to play against. You can't play PUBG if there isn't 100 people in that lobby. Well, you can, but it's not enjoyable. Yeah. Same thing with FIFA. It's not as enjoyable if there isn't a bigger player pool. And these people build out the player pool and make the experiences better for everyone else. And at that level of commitment, that's the exact kind of person that you should be breaking your back for as a developer, to say, do you know what? You're only one person. So the game can't be made to fit every one person. That's just not sustainable. But because of your level of commitment, you're exactly the kind of one person that we should be looking to build systems to create to cater for. And if that is just okay, you've got 30 days from now, that will sweep up these one people until it's their fault. If you give them an opportunity to jump in and they don't, it's their fault. If you give them an opportunity and you don't tell them about it and they've not taken it, it's your fault. And it's your fault. Isn't Stadia finished? Yeah, that's where it comes from, Kane. So basically, Stadia is dead in January, and anyone that plays Red Dead Online, which is not a lot of people, and anyone that plays Red Dead Online on Stadia, which is even less people, basically you can transfer.
It sounds like you're taking pot shots, but you're just genuinely not. It's genuinely a fact.
It is a little bit of a pot shot, but just using fact, yeah, like you say. So there's not many people that have been playing it, and these people want to transfer their progress because through no fault of their own, this person has spent nearly 150 days of their life. You are?
You were their own. Like,
I
really fancy.
They're
like really fancy, like you were like I was on a phone call with I was going to say the Queen, but I hope not.
Hello, welcome to the stream. It's because I've got a fucking ulcer in my mouth. Actually. I've bit it twice while I've been speaking as well today. So, so yeah, through no fault of their own, they had their systems taken away from them, and through no disclosure of Rockstar's own, these people can't get their systems taken with them because Rockstar didn't tell them that they could have got it if they'd logged in within 30 days before an announcement, but never told them in that 30 days before an announcement. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll put a pin in it there. Sheep says we are back. Welcome back, Sheep. Sheep is Big Hamish, by the way.
Hello and welcome back to Ice Cream Uploads here on Monday the 24th. Now, those of you that are listening to this on audio podcast will just have their brain frazzled. Those of you that are obviously in the chat that are watching this live, you understand what the process is. Graham streams, I dial in, then we continue with the rest of the show. However, it appears Graham's PC has just decided to like have a bit of a shit fit whilst during the stream. So sometimes his internet will go down and then it reconnects and we go back live again. However, it seems like Graham's PC has just kind of malfunctioned because the stream's gone down. His OBS has like reverted back to a vanilla version rather than the custom one that we've currently got. And his Wavelink has just decided to stop working, which therefore means that all the audio sources, if you haven't used Wavelink before, all your audio sources get put into separate categories. So like when you're on Discord, it'll go into a voice chat. If you're playing video games, it'll go into the game section of it. If you're using your microphone, the wave will be going up and down on the microphone section, as well as using browser and music. All of that stuff has its own separate areas, whereas all that's just gone back to default, and none of it is in the place that you'd expect it to be when you're doing streaming, or like we'd usually have it. So I'll take and he obviously won't be coming back for the remainder of this. So to continue the show, rather than just finishing where we ended up with the Red Dead Redemption stuff, I will be continuing this podcast in hopes that Graham can obviously get his PC sorted out and back up and running again, because I've never seen anything like that before, where he just kind of reverts stuff back. He just kind of rolls back and deletes everything. It's bizarre, but unfortunately it's happened during a podcast. Not set fire like this has his PlayStation. Not set on fire like his PlayStation. No, it hasn't. Not his PlayStation 4 Pro. I know that's been through the wars, but this is his PC, and I don't know what's gone on with it. Wavelink has just decided to take a shit, basically. And as well as on OBS, 2 applications like dying and rolling back. It's like his PC's just done a rollback during the broadcast. I don't know. But what I do know is that this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast. Again, if you are listening to this on all of our podcast services, then it's a bit of a mishmash of a podcast. But if you are watching live on Twitch, like we do every single weekday at 10 a.m., it's now nearly 4 o'clock, then you'll understand the story, you'll understand the concept. But I won't waste any more of your time. Sorry, I've just been downstairs to get a drink. I have tanned this drink. I don't drink that much, but when I do, like, I've tanked that, and now I can feel it. I can feel it. Like, kind of, I feel like I've got an hiccups coming on. It feels like you've been on since 10 a.m. I know, we are dragging this out for the longest podcast ever. But you're here to start listen to us talk about video games. This is what we call the dollop, because there's only one of us now, rather than the scoop. So, I ain't going to bore you for too long. We've got 4 more news stories for us to be able to get through. 2 God of War, Callisto Protocol, and something about a Metal Gear Solid film. Maybe? Who knows? But let's get into this news story. Malarkey then. Written on VGC by Jordan Midler, he states that God of War Ragnarok's graphic settings are set to include 120 FPS mode, and players have the option to either 4K 30 or 120 FPS mode and more. And then into the body of the article, and it says that God of War Ragnarok's graphical settings have been revealed thanks to a new round of previews. The game offers 2 distinct options, each of which can be pushed further by those that have TVs that can support HDMI 2.1. I don't actually know if my TV can. It's a 4K one in the front room. It's an LG 4K TV. It's pretty, well, I only got it last year, and it was pretty new off the production line, so it should do. But I've no idea. I've never really experimented with it, so that's interesting. Anyway, in our preview of the game, we said that God of War Ragnarok makes a wonderful impression from the very beginning. There are literally more iconic moments in the game's first 60 minutes than most games get in their entire runtime, and really deserve to be experienced on the biggest screen that you can possibly find. So this is the graphical options that are available. So if you are a PlayStation user, sort of fresh out the box, obviously it might end up coming to PC later on down the line, but here we are. Favor resolution, which is 4K 30 FPS. Then you've got favor performance, which is 60 FPS locked. Favor resolution and high frame rate is 4K 40 locked, and favor performance high frame rate targeting 120 FPS, which does make me think that the 60 FPS locked and also the 120 frames is going to be 1080p, because obviously there's no mention there that there's going to be any kind of 1080p there. So it won't include the recently announced God of War Ragnarok PS5 controller, which is a first special edition DualSense pad theme around the specific game. God of War Ragnarok was originally planned to be released last year, but Sony delayed it until 2022 to help deliver the Santa Monica studio deliver a top quality game, whilst also maintaining the safety and well-being of its team. Sony Santa Monica announced last week that the game had gone gold, meaning that it would feature complete and ready for physical production ahead of the God of War Ragnarok's release date of November 9th, which isn't that far away now. We're looking at maybe 3 weeks or so. It also confirmed that its 8 support studio worked on the game, including PlayStation Studios Creative Arts, Valkyrie Entertainment, Bluepoint Games, Red Hot, Super Alloy, Jetpack Interactive, Super Genius, and Original Force. So I don't know whether or not this is going to interest or has the capacity for you guys to be able to experience this in its absolute. I probably will. I'd love it to go 4K 40, if I'm being honest, but I'm guessing that probably requires the 2.1 HDMI, and this will be your bog standard normal HDMI port, 4K 30. That's the one I'd probably be looking at. This is a game that you'd probably want to experience on the big TV in the front room, and that's probably how I'm going to be able to do it. Rather than playing on my 1080p 144 hertz monitor, I'd probably go for the 4K big experience in the front room with the I don't know whether or not it'd be headset on. I don't have a sound bar. I feel like I probably should get one, to be fair. But visually, this game is going to be stunning. So I'd want to be able to experience it in the best that I can, and I feel like 4K 30 is probably the best that I can. If it was 1080 60 and it was a game that I was just looking forward to playing, it was just another open worldish type of game. You run of the mill stuff. However, God of War games aren't they? Especially considering the reboot. This is probably the one that I'm going to be going for. We're probably going to be looking at 4K 30 FPS. Unless I know that I've got a HDMI 2.1 port, then I might go out and buy a HDMI 2.1 cable. I'm not too sure. Tito says, I have a 5.1 surround sound. That's the thing I can't imagine doing without now. I'd love an Atmos setup. That's the thing. Like, I'd love to be able to have that kind of sound in my front room. It's just, I've never really been fazed about buying a sound bar. I probably should, because I love music. I love sound. I can pick out certain sounds. It's without going too in depth into stuff. It sounds ridiculous, but you can. If I was to try like 40 different headsets on, I'll be able to tell you right off the bat which one obviously sounds best. Some people obviously will. A lot of people will be able to do like that as well. But if you're sat in like a cinema, for instance, you'd want to be not too close to the ones on the right hand side so that you can't really hear the left of the ones on the right. Ideally you want to be sat in the middle, don't you? Do you know what I mean? So I feel like that is the kind of thing that you'd want with this. However, a lot of the times now, even if I'm in the front room and I'm playing it on the TV, I wear these. I wear my Astros. I don't know if that sounds like a plug or anything like that, which it is, but it's something that I've always done. Since we've been able to have the audio coming through your controller, I've always wanted that. So if I'm sat back on my chair and I want to be in it, I put my headset on. These are noise-cancelling headphones. Of course, I'm going to be wearing these ones. They are the best headset that I've ever owned. Failing that, I'll probably be using the normal TV ones. But I don't think the speakers on my TV are as good from the distance that I sit back from the TV without having headsets. So I'm not too sure. I feel like that's probably the best way for me. Football in surround sound here, and the keeper kicking the mud off his boots on the post behind you is mad. I can imagine. I can imagine I'd love something like that, but it's just a lot of money in it. It's just an awful lot of money. I know that you put an exclamation mark chat, but I think Graham is still sorting his PC out. I didn't know whether or not he had chatbot open, so I didn't put mine on, which I'll do now. I'll put my chatbot on now. I thought he's obviously restarted his PC, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. He restarted his PC, so it isn't going to be there. So give me a second. I'm just going to run that chatbot on now. Not that we'll be using it anytime soon anyway. But yeah, I feel like that's the one that I'm going to be going with. I'm going to go for 4K 30, 4K 40 if I do have the 2.1 port. My TV's mantled on the wall now. Oh, yours is loading up. Okay, let me turn mine off then. Do you want to close? Yep, mine's off now. I bought a 1,000-watt LG system nearly 15 years ago, and it's still going strong. I did have a surround sound system. It wasn't the best, and I think it was one that my mum gave me. Like she was mad into all that stuff as well, so she had all of the surround sound stuff, and I'm fairly certain I just ended up getting rid of it because it was just so old, it's so outdated. It just wasn't sounding as crisp as it used to do. So having a soundbar definitely would be class. It cost me 300 quid, which isn't that bad actually. 15 years ago, 300 quid. I won't get these alerts, by the way, because it's on Graham's PC, so you're probably scaring the ever-loving shit out of him, but it won't be coming through to me. But yeah, that's that one sorted out, essentially. It depends on what you've got available to you. If you've got a 4K TV, you're probably going to want the 4K 40 if that's what's available to you. If you do have the 2.1 port, either that, you're going to go for the 4K 30 FPS out the box nowadays is a bit shit. 4K 60, I feel like, is that the... 1080 60 is the absolute... That's the bare minimum that we should expect him from PS5 and Xbox Series X games, right? Can we all be in agreement with that one? However, obviously, the 4K 60, that's a little bit different. That requires a lot more work on their side, I imagine, as well as the financial implications on your side if you don't have the 2.1 support and things, so... 4K 30, I don't think anyone's going to begrudge that one. I think it's still going to look absolutely stunning when we come to play this game. I, for one, cannot wait to get stuck into it. I feel like this is a game like God of War. I'm going to have to go back and replay just to be able to come back into this one fresh again. Do you know? Like, does anybody else do that when there's a sequel coming out? Do you go back and play the original again just to refresh your brain? Like, I imagine at the beginning of this game we're going to be getting a refresher anyway. But still... You know what I mean. You know what I mean. So then, moving on, we've got another God of War article, which actually went live this afternoon. This is why I've included it in this one. It's a little bit, it's a little bit of a lull, but also at the same time a massive facepalm. So written on VGC by Jordan Midler, he states that God of War Ragnarok spoilers are appearing online ahead of its release next month, right? And you think, oh my God, someone's been leaking this. Absolute dickheads. Why are they getting a hold of this one? But wait until you actually read into the body of this one because you will piss. Fans eagerly waiting for God of War Ragnarok's release should be tread carefully online as new spoilers are doing the rounds and more likely to follow. A Twitter user, which VGC isn't linking to, appears to have the game early and is posting screenshots of the game to his account. Significant spoilers are now circulating on social media as a result. It is possible, though, that this user is covering the game at a media capacity and has failed to notice that his captured screenshots are being posted online, breaking the embargo. This is the second time in many weeks as a high-profile game has been leaked early. And earlier this month, physical copies of A Plague Tale Requiem were mistakenly shipped early to some customers, leading to significant spoilers being posted online. VGC's preview of God of War Ragnarok is called it an improved sequel in every way. We don't need to go into any more of that stuff, but the fact that someone has accidentally started to leak this stuff, I imagine, like, this is something that I most notably quite recently have come across. When you come to save stuff, depending on what your settings are on your console, you can set to share. When you press the share button on your Xbox, for instance, you can obviously set to share it to whatever. Same with your PlayStation, you can share it to your OneDrive, you can share it to your USB stick, you can share it to whatever system that you've got in the house, readily available for you to take those pictures off. Like, way back in the day on PlayStation, you used to be able to privatize tweets that was going out. So if you wanted to share something, you could put set to private and then you could post it onto Twitter. It would be kind of like a locked thing, so you can't see it, so nobody else can see it. That's how I used to get a load of screenshots for stuff. But sometimes I don't know why they've ended up removing that feature, so you can't really see it anymore. But that's how I used to be able to share stuff, like onto my mobile and things. Someone's done that and then and then just seemingly shared it to their Twitter page by accident. It's a bit weird, isn't it? It's like I say it's a bit weird. It's just someone just not paying attention. They've not set it to share, so only I can see it. Yeah, it's a completely different time. I mean, accidentally on purpose, phony. Yes, it could be. It could be someone who's just managed to get a hold of this game like an absolute blagger. But at the same time, I don't know who it is. I haven't found it because obviously I don't want the game spoiling for me anyway. But someone's done this and potentially blacklisted themselves. We had this case 2 weeks ago, and I can't remember the gentleman's name that ended up replying to his own tweet and basically exposing himself as the video game leaker. But he's now been exiled from video game reviewing journalism. He's just exiled himself. No one will ever trust him with that brand again. This person, I think, might have done this by accident because unless you're using an account that's an alias that no one is ever going to be able to see, and you're going to put all the procedures in place for you to not get found out exactly who you are and who you work for, then this is a huge risk for video game journalism. No one will touch this person again with a barge pole if they find out that they've been leaking this stuff on purpose just to be able to get social clout. That's what I can't remember the gentleman's name that did it, but he said the fact that every time I post, people was baiting on my every breath. They was waiting for me to be able to post stuff so that I could be the first person to be able to leak this and become the original leaker of this. So people would, like the Fabrizio Romano of fucking video games. You know what I mean? He gets a lot of shit wrong, but also gets a lot of shit right. It's treading the line. You being able to, if you throw enough shit at a wall, some of it'll stick. And that's essentially what that other bloke was like. Again, I can't remember his name, so I do apologize. But yeah, essentially, they're never going to be working in video game journalism again if they found this to be. I mean, to be fair, they broke embargo anyway, regardless of whether or not it was an accident. You should be doing everything you can to not release stuff like this. It's weird. Yeah, we did cover him. I forgot his name though. Very forgettable character, clearly. Phony Astro says accidentally on purpose. Surprised they can't restrict screenshots by application. I'm sure you can on Xbox. You just can't screen cap on Sky app. Yes, but you used to be able to on Twitter. I don't even know if you can still do it anymore, but you used to be able to post stuff so only you could see it on your timeline. I don't even know if you can still do that. I know you can share it with your inner circle and stuff now, but there used to be a section where you could like press only me and only I can see it on my timeline, so it get posted out as if you've posted something, but only you'll be able to see it. And that's how I used to get screenshots way back in the day before I had a capture card and stuff. Or where I started taking content creation seriously when I had a capture card. Like I had an Ava Media one way back in the day that was a component cable that you used to have to plug an HDMI into, and then it would run a component cable into it, and then the HDMI into your laptop or whatever, and then you'd be able to capture it that way. Like, yeah, it was weird. But that's how I used to have to capture stuff because that's all I had available to me because it was the cheapest option way back then. Like take pictures on your PlayStation 4 of whatever you wanted, and then send it to yourself on Twitter and making sure that you clicked, just me. But yeah, John Allen is his name. That's the guy. Dave. Thank you very much for that. So yeah, like the fact that it might still be up, and obviously I don't know who this person is, makes me think that this is probably an accident or, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those, but the career is on the line now, and they've got some explaining to do. Take pics with the Polaroid. Oh, oh yeah, can you imagine that? But where would I put the Polaroid then, mate? Use my scanner to put them back into the PC. How would I get that digitalized? I might as well take a picture with my phone and then post it because I'll be able to plug a USB cable into my phone or something like that. But yeah, it's a very bizarre scenario. I'm very interested to see more of this one and what happens, because I do think I'm going to give the person the benefit of the doubt with this one, that they have just ballsed up, because for better or for worse, I try to see the best in people until they do piss me off or they show the true colours, and then you don't get another chance. But I always give people the benefit of the doubt for better or for worse. Just kind of guy I am, I suppose. But anyway, moving on to something that's a little bit more scary. The Callisto Protocol has gone gold as well, written on Gaming Bolt. Striking Distance Studios and Crafton sci-fi survival horror title is set to launch on PlayStation, Xbox, PC in December. Horror games have been dominating the headlines of late, with the likes of Resident Evil 4, Silent Hill 2, and Dead Space all having caught plenty of attention with their most recent showings. But while those giants are, of course, turning heads, another upcoming survival horror title has been generating just as much excitement. Is a newcomer to the scene, Striking Distance Studios, the Callisto Protocol. The new sci-fi horror title has hit a major development milestone, taking to Twitter, and the developer recently announced that the Callisto Protocol has, in fact, gone gold, which means that principal development has wrapped up and the game is now ready to be pressed onto discs. Any work that Striking Distance Studio does from this point forward in terms of bug fixing and polishing will come in time for a day one post-launch patch. Taking heavy inspiration from the aforementioned Dead Space and developed by a team led by its creators, the Callisto Protocol is set on Jupiter's titular moon, where maximum security facility named Black Iron has been overrun by nightmarish horror monstrosities. Striking Distance Studio is promising a bucket load of gore, dynamic AI, and emphasis on horror and so much more. A game will be roughly 12 to 14 hours long, while it's been confirmed that it will feature a 60 FPS performance mode on current-gen machines. Striking Distance Studios has also said that it will receive a full year of post-launch support, so specific details on that front are currently scant. The Callisto Protocol will launch on December 2nd, the day before Graham's birthday, on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, and also on PC. So yes, this is probably one of my more anticipated games of the year, if not one of the most anticipated games of the year, taking heavy inspiration from Dead Space and the likes of Resident Evil 2, having this kind of survival horror. I feel like we're in a period of time here now where horror games are coming back, and they aren't just shit budget ones. We are getting proper survival horror games, with the likes of Resident Evil 4 looking a hell of a lot better than I thought it would, and they're taking that extremely seriously. The likes of Silent Hill 2 making a comeback, and seeing what they can do with that. Obviously Dead Space having a reboot too. Like, these are monster. I'm trying to think of an even bigger word than that, but like gigantic games, and having these come back into, I mean, two of those are remakes or remasters, and the other one is a reboot. This is obviously a brand new IP that's coming out. So having these Goliath games come out and taking the world back to, I feel like we're living in the early 90s again. That's what I feel like. It feels like we're having all of these survival horror games, because it seems to come in peaks and troughs. We have a load of zombie games, then we have a load of psychological games, then we have a load of just first person walk around. There's a few jumpy elements in there as well. Like, it just seems to be the done thing. Like, we've had things like Dead Rising obviously come out. We've had things like Back 4 Blood and Left 4 Dead and all these other types of zombie games and horde games, but nothing quite achieves what Resident Evil set out to, and Silent Hill. I feel like everything else has always come second, barring Dead Space, which is obviously the game that I didn't want to say become the standard, because Resident Evil 4 obviously set the tone for what survival horror games will play like in the future. Obviously going to an action adventure game rather than a survival horror game, but it's kind of come full circle now. So yeah, we're in a golden age here. Absolute golden age. Timeless says he was excited for this, but Dead Space remake got announced for Jan, so I'm not sure on this. Play both. Obviously, don't buy both unless you're absolutely wadded, because this will cost a lot of money. I imagine this is going to be coming in at $60 or £60 each for these, if not more. So it will be take your pick with which one you want. But both Dead Space and the Callisto Protocol, both of these games have the potential to be Game of the Year candidates, and definitely ones that you'll be looking back on at maybe 10 to 15 years' time and going, do you know what? I feel like this was the turning point again, like we had 3 years ago when Resident Evil 2 came out, the remake. I feel like that was the turning point again. Before that, obviously, we had Resident Evil 7, going to first person into the house where the survival, basically Resident Evil just went all back on survival horror again. And before that, we had PT, which kind of changed the psychological horror and what we come to expect. How many games got spawned? I mean, Resident Evil 7 is pretty much pretty much a respawn with just a fresh lick of paint and a bit more survival horror rather than psychological. But these all take inspiration of each other. We're coming into a golden age of survival horror games now. And for me, for those of you that have been following my content creation journey for the last 10 years will know that survival horror is my bread and butter when it comes to video games. It's the games that inspired me to be able to want to take and digest storylines in games. So going back 20 years, like Bibby's head would have fucking fallen off at this kind of stuff coming out now. It's genuinely the golden age, and no better time to be a survival horror enthusiast. That's third day, December, third day, nice. No, I do not. Damn it, says Funny Asteroid. Evil West looks awesome too. Resi 4 is March as well. Humongous, says Funny Asteroid. That's another word for it as well. Callisto Protocol is $54.99 on Xbox. There you go then. So is that classed as like a... Is that like a AA price nowadays, with AAA prices being like 70 quid? Jeez. Because it used to be like 20, 40, and then maybe 50. So yeah, that might be the middle ground now. Oh, yeah. But either way, I feel like this is definitely the golden age that we're getting into, which I'm super excited about. It's going to cost a lot of money. So praying that people will be able to, the video game companies like Capcom will go, do you know what, Bibbs? You've been a long time supporter. Here's a free game code, because I will not be able to afford all of these ones. But Callisto Protocol is definitely one that I will look to try and get for my birthday at least. Anyway, which is on the 9th of December for those that didn't know, so get that in your calendar. Final story of the day. Oscar Isaac asks fans to be excited for a new Metal Gear Solid film without any progress to show. Now, this is definitely something that I would have loved Graham to be able to chip in at, because he has a lot more history with Metal Gear Solid than I do. I've played played 3 of the games. 1, 2, and 3 I've played. Didn't play 4. Played a shitload of Metal Gear Survive. Didn't really play Phantom Pain. So this is definitely something that I put in here for Graham to try and get excited about. He's trying to sort his PC out so he can't get excited about it. Sell a Lambo. Yeah, I'll sell a Lambo, yeah. I'll sell both of them, fuck it. So yeah, this has been written on the game, and then Oscar Isaac spoke about MGS movie, but his words were anything but inspiring. In case you've forgotten, the Metal Gear Solid movie starring Oscar Isaac as Solid Snake is on the books, and we've received a few updates over the last 2 years, along with some basic concept art, and Isaac has finally broken silence on the movie, but his words may sound a little bit worrying. We want it to happen, he said Isaac in a conversation with comicbook.com. Be excited. What's the script? What's the story? What's the take? But that whole call comes to fruition when there's so much potential for that. It's an incredible game. It's my favourite. But the fact that Isaac wants it to happen and the fact that he's hopeful suggests that a Metal Gear Solid movie is still not fully confirmed. But there is a possibility that it might not happen at all. Isaac was cast as Solid Snake back in 2019, and the only other update that he's given since then was in March this year when he said that we're searching like Solid Snake. Isaac said, we're climbing through the air ducts, we're looking for the story, but it doesn't seem like much progress has been made since then, and his latest words still indicate that there is no story, script, or even a general idea. However, the creator of Metal Gear Solid, Hideo Kojima, appears to be full of ideas for his next project. Kojima Productions has been teasing a project in the works for a while now, so you may have seen some posters of obscured faces with the words, "Who am I?" written across them at TGS, and it was revealed to be Elliot Flanning. However, a cryptic tweet by the director suggests there will be another reveal at PAX, this time theorized to feature Margot Crowley, and the question will be where. This will also be the third announcement, but he provided no details about it. And then there's some stuff about Kojima's mind and what he's going to be doing with Death Stranding 2. We don't need to know more about that. But, again, if Graham was here, I'd love to know more on this, because I'm struggling to see what a Metal Gear Solid film looks like. Like, obviously, the game is about tactical espionage, and what would that look like in a film that isn't Mission Impossible or isn't a James Bond film? I know, obviously, the characters are historic. They will go down in video game history. But what part of the narrative are they going to be taking for what would make a Metal Gear Solid film good, achievable, watchable, or an absolute masterclass? A masterpiece, a cinematic masterpiece. I genuinely don't know what that looks like. I'd need someone who knows a lot more about what a Metal Gear Solid game film would look like compared to obviously what we get in a game. A game you could play for 40 hours, do you know what I mean? A Metal Gear Solid game, and then still be asking questions afterwards. How many films would it take for you to be able to go, I feel like they're getting somewhere with this? Because there's no way you can do that with a Hideo Kojima product in 2.5 hours. It it wouldn't work. So what I need to know from this is how or what a Metal Gear Solid film looks like and what the plot would be. And I assume whoever it is that's writing it is probably having the same thoughts, because it's been we've had no updates since 2019. All they've done is put the cast of Solid Snake in there. There's no script. There's no blurb. There's no art direction. We've got nothing to be shown from this one, and I think they're having the same problems. What does a Metal Gear Solid film look like? Apart from casting the main characters. Difficult. Considering the writer from Escape from Ireland in New York with a name like Snake in his general look, I'd say that is exactly what I thought. It's a film that I've never seen, Escape from New York. It's a film that actually keeps on popping up on TV downstairs, and I keep on saying to Samantha, I really want to watch that film because I've heard it's badass. But I don't know what it'd look like. Tito says, I was going to make a joke about how it'd only be half a plot at best, and you'd have to pay to unlock the rest of the movie. But Sonic and the latest Mortal Kombat and Detective Pikachu films were good. They were very good. Sonic 2 was shit. I haven't watched the new Mortal Kombat, but Detective Pikachu was great. I enjoyed that a lot. But yeah, like, I don't know. It's such a complex thing, Metal Gear Solid. I can't keep up with it. As much as I loved the first 2 games, I didn't really get along with 3. I never really finished it. And I know Graham says that Snake Eater is his favourite one, so I'll take his word for it very much, like he does with Resident Evil with me. I don't even with my limited time with Metal Gear Solid, I genuinely have no idea what a Metal Gear Solid film looks like. So good luck to the people who are writing it, because I think you're having the same troubles as everybody else. I think they'll probably be looking at fan theories and things and then going, actually, that's a really good idea. Let's build on top of that one, and then see where we go from here. But good luck to him, because I imagine when this comes out, it will have a lot of critics either praising it or absolutely criticizing it. But yeah, I don't know where we go from here with this one. But I do know where we're going to go after this scoop. Completely fucked that one up. That was a segue and I ballsed it up. I do apologise, but this is the end of the scoop now. I do very much thank you, each and every one of you, for joining us for today. Again, if you are listening to this on any of our on-demand services, you're probably going to see it being a bit disjointed. Hopefully, it will have all made sense for you, and by the time I've put it all together, it'll be in a nice little condensed package for you all. But we will be back tomorrow, live from the studio in Pulteney-Flyld, Jelly Media Studios. So do hope that you can join us for that. But if you want to help shape that show, there is 2 ways that you can do so. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Loads across all major social media platforms, or alternatively, get involved with our Discord. If you're watching this in any of our on-demand services, go into the description below. All the links that you require will be listed there below. But all we need from you is a URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at 10 a.m. tomorrow. I'm only joking. It'll probably be the afternoon. And we are so busy at this moment in time, which is why the streams have been so sporadic in terms of time. But we do appreciate all you guys that just join us on a whim, that when we actually post that we are going to be going live. It does mean a lot that you all turn up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you over to one of our friends who is currently playing something. So if you do want to stick around, that will be absolutely fantastic. But until tomorrow's episode of The Scoop, I bid you all a farewell. And as always, there's one thing that we want you to do. And that, my friends, is to stay frosty.